Ublumi, good afternoon. Welcome to the Tunnganarniq Show. I am your host. My name is Margaret Noksana. We are broadcasting live here out of the Inuvik Cultural Resource Center located in Inuvik. On today's episode, we have two guests, our elders here in the community of Inuvik, and I'm really excited for today. We have Elder Susan Peffer and Elder Shirley Elias. How are you ladies doing?
Oh, good. Enjoying the heat, the weather. It's hot, but it's good. Waiting for berries to start coming out so we could pick berries and.
Hopefully, after the big rain we just had,
Yes.
I heard a lot of people say the rain will be good for the berries.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to that too. So I love summer.
Yeah.
It's so short. Summer is so short.
Yeah, so short.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when Shirley, you've been on the show, so you know how I like to kind of do the beginning. Susan has been on the show too, but that episode was a special episode.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about, it was the very first, what was it, Reconciliation Day.
TRC, yeah.
Yeah,
Reconciliation,
so it was a very special episode, that one. It was on was it the day of or the day before?
I think the day before, the
Yeah.
orange shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the orange shirt. Yeah.
So that was the episode you were in, and we didn't get to, I like to get to know our elders when they come on and their guests. We didn't really get to full on get to know you because you came here in the role of your job, and shared a little bit of your story, but not a lot.
Yeah.
So I'll start with Susan and then I'll move to you if that's okay, Shirley.
Yeah.
So the way I like to start every episode is our guests to come in and just to explain who they are, where they're from, exactly how we talk to our elders.
Okay.
And you're my elders, but that's how we would talk to our elders. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Susan Peffer. In our Inuvik culture, we have an Inuvik name. So my parents call me Nanmak. My parents were George and Martha Harry.
Mm-hmm.
Born and raised here, born in Aklavik, because majority of the children them days in my age category were born in Aklavik. But my parents lived in an outpost camp in the Delta. And when they offered my dad work here because he didn't want us to go to a residential school, so he took the job here in Inuvik. Oh, I love talking about my parents because they were so, like, when I think about it today, they were so strong and so grounded. Like, that's my phone.
Oh, that's okay.
I should have shut it off.
That's okay.
So anyways, my mom and dad, so they moved to Inuvik. Because they offered my dad my work with the town of Inuvik. Yeah, they built it. They built Inuvik. My dad helped build Inuvik. They stayed out at the airport and they moved this way, and that's how Inuvik got started because they offered them work. So we lived on the west end of town, and my dad was a garbage collector. He started off as a garbage collector here in Inuvik.
Yeah.
And then he became, after 25 years of work with the GNWT, he worked as a duty driver.
Oh.
So he was a person to pick up parts. And my mother, she worked, my mother is Martha Harry, and she worked in Stringer Hall. And she was a seamstress there, so she did all the clothing for the children. And yeah, she was very good. And we had many children in our family, but a lot of them died when they were just babies. So the ones I remember were Leonard, Lillian, Valerie. My brother, we called him Nabu. Everybody had an Inuvik name.
Yeah.
As Nabu and Valerie, and then my sister Mary, and my little brother Ipan.
Yeah.
And so then they go by their Inuvik name. That's who they are, and that's who our family was, and we grew up here in Inuvik. And All my life I grew up here. I remember the dirt roads, and the town is just dusty. Oh my God! It's like every household was like dusty.
Yeah.
There's so much dust and big rocks on the road. Hardly anybody had vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
And we had honey buckets, so we used to take our honey buckets to they had a big, in front of your driveway, they had a platform, and there was a big 45 garbage barrel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you threw your garbage, and that's where you burnt it. So every household down the road, they had these big garbage bins, 45-gallon drums, and then that's where you put your honey bucket too.
Yeah.
Because you had to spill your toilet. There was no running water then.
Yeah.
So that's where I grew up, and I never thought to be like Lillian always said. Never thought that it was boring or, we just enjoyed ourselves and with what we had, and we never missed anything because there was nothing to miss, I guess.
Yeah. I was driving down the road by the river the other day, and I go for rides every day.
Yeah.
I was looking at those big poles. Some of them are wooden, some of them are steel, and I was thinking, what are these for? I wonder if they were power lines that got cut. And then I realized they're probably for boats. They're probably for the barges and the boats and whatever little schooners came here.
For sure.
Yeah, I just had that thought the other day after the episode we did with Albert, when Albert was talking about schooners. Yeah, and I was driving around and I was like, what are these poles for? And then I'm like, they're probably for that. Like, they probably were there since Inuvik started.
Yeah. And this is where I grew up, and I have so fond memories of Inuvik, and I enjoyed our growing up years because we did a lot of played outside a lot. Never stayed inside. Always outside, doing stuff outside.
No bears.
Not that I don't remember any bears, because the garbage dump used to be on the other end of town, going toward the ITH, the Inuvik Highway.
Okay, yeah.
Right, not too far from. It used to be called Caps Camp then, but that's where the garbage dump was.
Yeah.
And so all of us young kids would walk to the dump.
Not scared of bears.
Nothing, never scared. And we used to pick berries only because there was no buildings.
Yeah.
No buildings anywhere, so we used to pick berries.
Berries.
My mom used to take us for berries where where the young offenders center is, young offenders, that one there. That's where we used to pick berries, figs and blueberries, and
Now we have the ITH.
I know, now we have the ITH.
Who would have thought that whole ITH was just full of berries?
I know.
It just opened up access.
Yeah.
I remember when it first opened, everyone was saying it's going to be all dusty, and it's fine. It's good. It's good, yeah.
When we first went down the ITH to Tuck, and we were just excited because we've never seen this part of the world before as women.
Yeah.
Men did because they went hunting there, but as women, we've never seen that part. We never go hunting. So it was so like, wow, it's like a brand new world opened up. And but I felt sorry for the animals. Yeah. Because we took over their territory. That's probably where they nested at one point in time. Now it's covered in this rock. So I felt sorry for the animals. I told them I was sorry. I said, I'm sorry. I just took over your home.
It's a beautiful ride.
Yeah, it is a beautiful ride.
I still get choked up when I think about the ice road. Yeah. Like my whole life I knew that ice road to Tuck. And when the last time I ever drove on it was the first time I drove on the ice road, and I had a lump in my throat the whole time. The only one time I ever drove home on the ice road. Now there's no more road.
I know. I miss that too. Yeah.
So Shirley, if you'd like to do your introduction.
Okay. In Evaluton or?
You can do it in Evaluton, yeah.
Okay. Uvanga atera me Marlena. Tunnganarniq Shirley Elias. Ilakka kunaglo nanugaklo. Ingilrangaya damangmik suaksimayuk apaga suaktuak 1985 Christmas Day. Christmas naq tilluit inuit. Amamaga una suaksimayuk 2001 in May of 2001 she passed away. So inuiaktuut nutaqqatuvagut angayuklak Billy ayutak Goose Douglas First Roy Ragalo Bingayuat Mary Jane angayuga aga aluga Chidamat Asin Roy Goose angayuga Uvanga Asin Shirley Molly Walter Beatrice Aldina Digwa Douglas and John 12 of us 12 ngayon nigo anakati doon yeah tasbuna ilichoyo ame Digwa mangnik ilagka tapkong nang nukat pakamnik pipiyong nik kanok Digwa pangnak but inuit pekpak Kodi blue yaktam na pagpagibagkaka isamam ni angigibagkaka ilagka tigo anak mangnik inung ne soangat kaklo tigo kami ba ikayo tisuklutik nutakanon tapwak tigo aksimayek nukaklik tema asin inugo aluak tugod tingowag kun asin angayuklak angayuga Billy suaksimayuak 1989 me narayong ninaya katigot tingmitikot kadaw ti blugo ilang idilo 1989 mitas ba ilang itaw kimaksimagay inuyalaktot nuat kalo uyokot ka ukwa kalutay ka unsakdomi aglaan kamu aglaan inunya palupuktuan ni angayuga tuglak uwani itok inuwing misuli uwanga dam ngalo angayuga Roy uwanga lo angayug sumuktuan ni tasbanu takkanin suli nukabot inuhuma paluktot nukapot Aldina Vancouver mi inu paluktok takanani nutakkan nilo tuwakan nilo Beatrice algyo naptao na yellow knife mi inu niyak sa mapalukpok tuwak sibituak tumikagma ya nutakabot inu yak sa mayot nukap tingnen angayup tingnen kiturungabot uyobot inugak tugot suli tasba ilichoyo ame anana lukpot mamayak panakang naklone malino wasak at ka tasba dam na kingowag kon ipagsak illo kaluluy dam na ingat to di blugo sanayak taksakpot sanayak katiyak pukdam na Beverly Lenny toko si mamman anana pot Edmonton mi tasba dam na 1945 mi toko naktok Edmonton mi sibitu galak to aglan ilani temanganin temaninganin utak tiyun naklawit inang narat anak wingmin daw ng aulak tuat utak kotisoid ng matik iningin nun ilangin nun diba temanitimig anana lupot mali mga mamayaw iman na ilugar lugo takusuyak lugu pinginigat ilaptik apang malo mamang malo
Your grandmother?
angang malo. My
Your grandmother, she
grandmother
was buried in Edmonton.
Mali
Oh.
napasak. Asin tam na sannayaw tigiplugo ipaksak luilo sannayak pud ukausik sa Katikupta Edmonton ipaksigo in August.
Okay.
That's
And so that was your mom's mom?
my dad's.
Your dad's mother, Molly.
My dad's biological mother was Molly Goose Noksana.
Okay.
And anyway, my great grandmother, is Mimi Mama Yao. She and my grandmother, Molly Noksana Goose, had two relationships back in the day. And I mean, one after the other. When the first husband died, they both remarried. And my great grandmother was from Kitigariwit. And I like to correct this. If people see this and they say the word Kitigariwit, that's the proper pronunciation of the old community down in the coast here near Tunnganarniq. It's not Kitigazwit, it's Kitigariwit.
Kitigariwit.
Yeah. So that's where she originally came from. And she was there when the epidemic hit the community years and years ago. And that's, a lot of people died there. And she was one of the survivors that, made it. She not ran away, but find a shelter to save herself. First, I guess her skill was to help people, like a support worker in a time in their own world of Inuit. She was a caretaker, and she was watching people die, so she was trying to give them something to eat and water them and give them water and, talk with them. And the next day she would talk like this, they're sleeping dead. So she said she had to leave to save herself, and somehow they went away. And probably for a reason too, because these people are getting sick. She must have thought, they gotta get some food for them sooner or later, so maybe they'll catch food for them and send them in somehow. But anyway, the whole community was hit by the flu epidemic.
1920.
Yeah, somewhere up there.
28, yeah.
And so both my two nanaks became widowed at different times. I'll tell you, my great Amaw's first husband was Kaluga from Tunnganarniq, the clan, the top clan, the first elders, I think. And then her second husband was Ilavinak. He was also living here. Their dwelling area was just down here by Campbell Creek, alongside the coast. And the old dwelling area went into the ground. Emma Dick used to tell me, I know where your great Amaw's place used to be. We knew it when we were growing up here. So I never did go see it, but she's from word. This is what she told me. And then my Anana, Molly, her first husband here in the Delta was also a special constable. He went by the name of Billy Kayutak. So if you know anyone that is related to my first adada, Billy Kayutak, would be nice if you could let me know. Those of you that might understand and learn your history here in the Delta might be connected to a family from way back. So, but anyway, that's the story. And he died from food poisoning. And again, she grieved that. Not only did her mom did, but my grandmother Molly lost her first husband there. And so the story goes, they were traveling up north, I guess, and when they both, met there, she met her second husband along the way, Tommy Goose, and that's who Louis came from. His first daughter, Carrie Goose, Tommy Goose's daughter from his wife.
Oh, okay.
And then my Nanuk became their stepmother.
Oh,
and so
okay.
really,
I see.
really, Louis' real Nanuk as well from my uncle Jack Goose.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So that's how it goes. And the both ladies migrated up further as far as they could up north and reach Koglokdok and lived there for a while with my Nanuk Molly and her husband Tommy Goose was the special constable living there some time ago. Yeah. And then they lost their son there. He drowned. The Roy Goose that was now my brother's namesake drowned there, and then I guess some grievance against, they always travel away from things like that. They went back to Ulukakdo and lived there for years and years until all family, grew up, and my parents married each other there. My parents are Wallace Goose and Agnes, and then that's where I was born too, in the old community side of Ulukakdo. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Nice.
I would like to go to Kugluktuk one day.
Me too.
People are so nice.
Yeah, I would like to see Kugluktuk. I've never. Yeah, I've never been there. I've been to all of the islands, Ulahaktok, Sats, Politak, but Kugluktuk I would love to go see.
Yeah. Cambridge is nice too.
Yeah, Cambridge Bay too. I would like to see their dances.
Yeah.
They say they have a square dance competition in that area.
They must have
I
done
think
that.
they do. Yeah, I think they
now.
do that, and it'd be nice to see.
Yeah.
You can show your steps as
Yeah.
fast as you can.
Yeah.
So, with the introductions now, do you guys want to get into do you want to share some stories maybe? Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to go first and share some stories?
I still want to talk about my parents.
Oh yeah, that's perfectly fine. Yes.
So because I love the language too. Now I'm learning to love the language. I never spoke Inuvialuktun, but I seen a clip of myself talking. I sounded so fluent. I said, was that me? But it was. So I must have had that, the way they pronounce it. Because when I always love to hear the language I can understand really well. And this one time I was trying to talk Inuvialuktun, I was trying to read something, and my brother said, just like the Narok. He said just like a white person. But I'm really practicing now, so I'm really thankful for my sister Lillian, who loves the language, so she teaches the language, and the way she teaches is helping me to pronounce the kakeko and those are difficult, when you think about the language, and the pronunciation is so important, because if you don't say it properly, then you're saying totally something else completely.
Like igalik and ugalik.
Two
completely different
I know,
things.
really. And some of them are so close, so closely. So, but I love the language. I'm really learning. I could say, I could say that. Like before then, I could not. I had to really try to think. But now, just with practice, practice makes perfect for our languages.
I always think I can say, 'cause you got to use the back of your throat when you talk. And I always think I could do it. I grew up saying phrases. But then sometimes when someone says something, I know what the back of my tongue has to do. But it's not strong enough to do it. That means I got to practice more. Because it's almost like a muscle.
I think they call it gudrel. Especially the Q. The Q is very hard. And the R without the ha. You have to say ha. And the Q is a ka. So And so we're traveling to Whitehorse, just me, Lillian, and Valerie. 3 of us. I think I had my 2 grandchildren with us at that time, and we were talking about the language. Always talking about the language, and I was telling her that we need to find something so that I know how to pronounce the words properly. So as we're driving, she started. I didn't know how we got that, but we started thinking about how a nursery rhyme, kids learn nursery rhymes so easy, so fast because it's repetitious. And I said, well, let's do a nursery rhyme, but in Inuvialuktun. And she said, sure. She said, what song then? Then I thought of The Farmer in the Dell. Oh, no, not The Farmer in the Dell.
Mary Had a Little Lamb?
No, it's Inyokuk Nuna Kaktuk. What's that one? Nuna Meni Nun. That's
Bingo.
no.
Old
B-I-N-G.
MacDonald had a farm.
Yeah, it's Old MacDonald. Old MacDonald had a farm. Yeah. So I was saying, well, we'll just change it to a person that you know from around here. So we thought about Inukuk.
Oh.
Inukuk lived on the main street, way down on Main Street, right by right before you go into housing down. There was a little lot there that he lived on, and we used to live in matchbox houses, like just a little house just like this with 1 room. That's it. You have a stove and a bed. That's all. They called matchbox houses. That's where he used to live in. So she said, well, let's use Inukuk, okay? So let's change it now. So all the way to Whitehorse, we started singing. Inukuk nuna kaktok a-a-e-u. We use the a-a-e-u because that's the only 3 vowels that we have in our language, a-e-u. And if you say tulara kaktok, and then what does the crow say? You say ka ka ka, right? But we use ka ka. So people could get to know that ka ka ka. Ka ka over there, ka 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 humleka. So we really could use it, and you could change the animal to anything. So you could use crow, and then you could use bear. What does bear say? You know. So you learn how to say over there, right here, and anywhere. So those are, and it's it repeats itself over and over again. So we made up that song. I'm so happy. All the way we sing.
That's really crafty. You and Lillian and who?
Valerie, my sister Valerie.
Okay.
My grandchildren. So now our grandchildren know the song. All of them.
From hearing it so much.
I know why I got that. Thinking about singing was my mother. She always taught us through singing. So when we go to our whaling camp in the summertime, she grabbed big thing of okra, the whale blubber, and she said she throw it to the seagulls like this, and she goes, "Uwiu, okra kova, kokoparache, okra koparamahe." She
Telling them to eat.
Tell them to eat. Here, lots of okra. Call really hard so you could get more after a while. So all the grandchildren know uwiu. They go, uwiu, okra kova. As we throw the okra out to the seagulls.
How you say seagull?
Nauyak.
My daughter, Nauyak. Noah saying Nauyak. He's 3, Nauyak. When we go to the river. Nauyak.
They're so sweet when they learn the language. My grandson, Cash, I told him, I'm going to come. We're going to do a TV show tomorrow. He said, I'll come with you. So he was trying to think what words he knew in Inuvialuktun.
Trying to make a list.
He was just trying to say that. I was trying to teach him. He had fun last night when we were laying down to go to bed. he wanted to come and be on TV too.
Yeah. They were excited.
So, yeah, fun to learn, huh?
It
It's
is.
so fun to learn
Mhm.
Yeah.
a different language, because if you learn a different language, it really helps the brain.
It does.
It really does.
Mhm.
I was thinking about when you do translation,
Mhm.
man, you have to be sharp, huh?
Yeah.
If you learn how to talk about this in English and
Yeah.
translate it to Inuvialuktun, that really takes a good skill.
Because you know it.
Yeah.
That's what I know.
Yes.
That's what I've been learning for 20 years. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's an example. People just can use it for a guideline.
Yes.
So, but like using talking, reading, and then translating, but writing is another skill all on its own now. Because it's, you could have the longest word
Yeah.
for something you say
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
sentence.
Really.
Mhm.
Our
'Cause-
language is really, honestly, English can't compare to
No.
the language.
Everyone
It
says
cannot.
English is so hard.
Yeah.
It's ancient, this language.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the meaning of, say, Apakput, our Father. Like, it doesn't even say our Father, like, you know, Apakput, you know, he's not our Father, but he's, I don't know what Put means, but it means like,
Hours.
there's such bigger meaning because English can't explain
Yeah.
that word. So we have to emphasize
Mm-hmm.
and try to use or improvise and try to use an English word to a Inuvialuktun word.
I think it's starting to slowly come back though, because the little kids I see, and I'm talking about like the 6, 7, 8, 9-year-olds, they use so much language in the school now.
Yeah.
I never knew Yagarunga.
Yeah.
I never knew what that was until I was pregnant, and then they would say, Miss Margaret, Ganawitbit, and I'd be like, Yagarunga, I'm tired. I learned that one pretty quick when I was this big and pregnant. Yeah, early in the mornings everyone greets each other. Mhm. That right there already shows me that kids are just learning more and more.
That's good. That's good to know that, because our language is very precious, and it makes us who we are, and it tells us our identity. What exactly and where exactly and who exactly our ancestors are. And we may have a little dialect change, but that's okay, because we can work with that, and we don't have to separate one another and learn together, because nowadays we're all mixed no matter where we go,
We are.
because of the times that changed, and people are now Inuvialuktun are all over everywhere, whereas before our Inuvialuktun used to just be in their own little dome area, group areas here and there on the land, and they had their own way of learning things as well, and they knew about mental health. Up here, mental health, great big time. They knew beforehand. They know how to do, what is good, and separate their work with their group of people and protect them, and know what is danger. And they learned it because they were living right on the land.
Exactly.
I didn't know I was, like I always tell people, I didn't know I was a scientist as small as I was, like 3 to 4 years old, already looking for little minnows. But just the word scientist, I didn't know what they're talking about. But we were already,
For
knew
sure.
the land, and knew how to, travel the land, and we knew from our elders who told stories, when they come back from the hunt they came from out on the land. And when they went home, especially our fathers, the hunters, their families and the men would go rush to them and help them tie dogs and put their harnesses away and feed their dogs so they could go in and, visit with them and eat with them and tell stories so they could learn where they've been and from their stories. That's how their stories came from way back, and they knew the words to, the open water. It's like it's certain places, so they told those kind of stories.
Yeah.
Even if young children wanted to learn, they saw all that in their mind. So when it's in their mind, they won't forget. And when they finally see it, they say, "Oh, that's what they were talking about."
Yeah.
And my great-grandmother, Amok, she talked about Anachlit, Digdalit. And I was only like maybe 3 or 4 years old. And going, I wonder what that was. And here I met Albert some years later, and he took me here. We went to talk, and I saw, oh, that's what she's talking about. Digdalit, Anachlit, and how much she miss eating them. Because we have char way over there.
What's Dikdalit?
Digdalit are losh.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Anachlit is whitefish.
Oh, yeah. So you eat losh here?
Lots of losh down by this river. See?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I didn't know.
They
Oh,
don't
that's
have-
Digdalit.
Interesting, our history of our people, and how they travel from Aklavik to Saxe Harbor. Like,
They knew their geography.
that just boggles my mind yet. Like, they could take a schooner and go right from Aklavik to Saxe Harbor.
That's what we were talking about with Albert when he was on a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
He was saying they just knew. They what did he say? How to read maps and stars and through all of it. And
they have to have that skill to know. I mean, when you're in the ocean, what landmarks is there? You don't know the landmarks.
He said it, and they knew how to do it. And he said it would take like 17 hours from the mainland to the island. Yeah. But to know how to do that, he said they had
do
like
that with dog teams too.
Yeah.
Wow.
They can tell the weather beforehand, how long it's going to be, the special weather reporters. We had weather reporter in Helicopter. We always called him our weatherman.
Yeah.
God rest his soul. And Gorkion, he was our weatherman. It was always traditional weatherman.
They really do have a skill, because like one time my dad got lost in a blizzard outside of Tuck when they were hunting for caribou. Him and another person and my uncle went back to town. When he got his caribou, he went back, and I remember everyone was so worried because of how you gonna go find someone in a blizzard. And my dad's they were going in circles, and then his partner started getting nervous, and he said he followed. He looked at how the snowbanks, the drift, how it was, and he said, well, the wind was coming from this direction, so it's making this, so we have to go this way. And he managed to get them to the ice road where they got to go back home. How you have that skill?
Practice, for sure.
That's growing up
And
out on the
listening,
land,
for
and
sure.
It's the amount of knowledge.
Yeah.
Because I could just follow when I travel.
That
They
happened
learn
to us.
from living it. They learn from living it. Even the children play on, dangerous areas. But those of us that are parents will just say, "Get out of the ice!" But they learn their skills playing there and on a safe ground and stuff like that.
You know what I miss nowadays? Because I remember going to Ranger Station, and they used to have sports day. And in sports day, they used to have running races, like running. People would be running. And they'd be carrying stuff, the heaviest lifter. Those kind of things. I was just a young girl then, but I remember those days. And we used to have them daily. People used to travel just to go to sports day.
All the way to Reindeer Station. Yeah.
And they used to actually ride on reindeers.
Oh.
Yeah, they used to ride them, and they used to have them like a dog team.
They tame them.
They tamed them, that's
Crazy,
right.
yeah.
I know. It was fun days to watch them days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you want to share your song?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I water this again? It's
Yeah,
dry.
yeah, that's fine.
And then I'll just need water.
Okay. Just in a cup?
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
So when it's dry, it makes a.
Yeah, it's not the real skin.
Oh,
So this
okay.
is like a material
Oh,
from the
yeah.
store.
A nylon? Is
Yeah.
it?
But they still sound good. And
Mhm.
you water them down.
I remember when I was a little girl in Tuck at the kiddie hole,
Yeah.
we used to square dance all night, drum dance, square dance, like hours. And I remember seeing the elders spraying their drums. Yeah, and then I never realized that they were different and they were made out of hide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Una uva ilisaktaka amamang ma unipka ng maong temanganin ngo unipkaktak una kayaktor nakto upinaksak ilisak kaklo dineret taibluilo aglaklulo ukununga tusayak sat kunun ingaktong matchum tasba asin damna tasba nga ilitsarayaka damna kayaktorong naktum unipkanga atuya lakarlulunin unipkak sakneriga uvanga memerlina Shirley Elias mamaga nanugak Agnes Goose aglawyakti titarawyakti atoktilo taimani inubluni uluksaktomi co-op aglawyakti wangnigat inugalakti taimani uluksakto isagutakkarman aglawyakti wot co-op nguptidate asin kinguvakkun co-op nappaktidat uluksaktomi una ilisakta mamang ma atuyauta iman na ito. Sibularmik kasauta atong niyaya o mga kilaw mo. Awyako ang guwang niyak Dasbatan ilisakta sibullarmik kasauti iyaka una kilaun ilisakkaarailugu atuta dasbatamna ilitaka atausiungitimik qamma atoqsimayara katimapka qaangatigut inuit ilitsoriya soortago taamna unipkaa imanna unipkaaliornerpatu anuarpa pertorpaaluktumilunniin tatpaani silainnakun aulajuaqooquna qajaqtuaq Tunnganarniq Show. Unipkaaq taimangaaniin qangataima unipkaaliangat aglaujarsimanarmaangmaamangma. Anuaq pagmigo ukioriuamiluunniin sumitaima silarlummi ilaani inuitusaamavagnigaat una qajartuartuaq silainnakut atoqluni taaviuma kasautaagut erinaagut. Teima aasin agilaksimaplugulu quliarsimaiplugulo isumamni isumallaptuami soorta silainnakun una inuk unipkaaliornarpajung inuit tasva aasin uqausinga taamna tikinnapku qitqani atuuti minnertuaq suniarpeqaa inminik una inuk apaqsoqsimajoq suniarpeqaa ilitsuariuami aasin taamna inuk tatpaunertitaunappa kiatatatpauartinarpauk silainnarma imanna uqartuaq suniarpeqaa uqqinniarpeqaa imanna luunniin uqartoq isumamini qakuguta iluanun ilutarmuluunniin anoqail umun qakkugutikinniarpik isumayuaq tasva aasinngortaavima unipkaam imanna unipkaaqtip imanna ilia taaviumagorting tulukkam tingimayuam kasangnerlugu tatpaungainnaq silami tasva taamna atoqtuaq taima aasin taunungami tainnartuaq tutainnartuaq nunamum tasva kinguvakkunaasin ilitsuarlugu aasin uqautsivut tasva iluarnerpata quviakkun miliunniin suangataqarnerupta upperivaglutigik taamnago uqautarpu suangamman sunavaguna atoqtuaq inuk suangatiksamingili ilorrisukluni tasva unipkaam tasva sivunia ilitsuariaga taamna.
Was there an action to it? The way she sang it, or it was a song?
It's a song. Me and my bunny gonna make action.
Oh, really? Oh, nice.
Okay, it's a song again.
Okay.
You can sing along with me if you want.
Okay.
Au yaro, anguarniaq peqanga. Au yaro, anguarniaq peqanga. Suniaq peqa, oqiniaq peqanga. Au yaro, anguarniaq peqa, suniaq peqa, oqiniaq That's powerful words. So for those of you learning in your languages or living your circle of life, don't ever give up. Continue to live and follow your dreams. And so sometimes the story goes, you might have hardships, but don't give up. There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
For sure.
Koyanaini.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So you guys are going to do, hopefully, create actions for it?
One day soon, I've asked my girls and my granddaughter if they would, help me find a movement for it because it's growing.
Growing, like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
This song is about paddling?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Nice.
Very beautiful.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? And it's about drumming. So when I was a young girl, I remember people used to drum hard.
Yeah.
And it seems a little bit different now. I find that people are a little bit softer.
Yeah.
Did it change?
I don't know. It's just probably the people themselves.
Oh, so maybe going from like Tuk to Inuvik?
Yeah.
Maybe
Probably
that's the
so,
difference.
yeah.
Because I'm thinking back of when I was like 7, and I remember watching. Do you remember? I know my auntie Emma was there, and then Eunice and yes, all the old and Shepherd, all the old dancers, and I just remember so strong arms and strong beat.
Yeah.
And I was watching. It's still beautiful and it's still powerful to hear the drumming and the singing and the dancing. Yeah. But it for me it just seems just a little bit different from then when I remember when I was a little girl.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah. Because when they used to dance, they used to just enjoy themselves and just move like that.
Yeah.
Now it's just like I love them all, but they used to just they used to be just sweating.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember. Although that being said, the sweating on Inuvialuit Day, when we were all dancing, it was so cold, and I told my mom that's why they wore mitts. Yeah, it was so cold. My hands were just cold like this, and we dance and dance, and then I asked my mom. I always wonder why they wore mitts. That's exactly why it was so. And then they take them off, I guess. And
they were in the igloo. Back in the day, people used to build igloos, like snow houses. Yeah. And if they were in the coast, they do that. And where it's hard packed snow. So the big igloo was called Kajgi.
Kajgi. Oh,
Kajgi.
That's for
it's a recreation. That's the recreational dome of the community where they all know they're gonna, celebrate together. Happy times and tell stories and show their talent and skills. It's where their athletes go on the ice and show their skills. What they've learned back out on the land where they traveled on icy cold water. They had such balance to ride their kayak, so they would be harvesting our food and everything. And they had all those talents. So slippery ice is slippery, so that's what they have to stand and show how stable they are. They're like acrobats themselves.
Really. So strong. Our people. It's so small, and it just grew. Like you said, now we're all over, and it's just growing. And it's important to continue, I think, with the clothing, the hunting, the language, the songs, just to keep growing. That's how come I love this building, this Inuvialuit Cultural Resource Center. The ladies here, they're so generous. Anyone wants to learn, come up here.
Yes, that's a good place.
And to be surrounded by this is like you just feel so loved but before we go, I want to share a little story, a funny story. Okay. I love funny stories. So this husband and wife, they had a fight, and they lived in an igloo. And
what year was that, Susan?
And so they had a fight, and so the husband took off, and the woman, she went and she grabbed hot water and she threw it on the igloo. Melted the igloo, and they had no more home, so that ended the argument.
So people.
You could fight just with hot water. You just have to throw it. And it ends the fight. No more fighting, so they have to build a new.
They gotta work together.
You have to work together again.
Build another one. one.
My nephew told that story, and I couldn't stop thinking about it. I just laughing. Just fight, and you just throw hot water on it. But we don't fight like that.
No. Yeah.
That story that if we throw water though, it's gonna freeze.
Freeze if it's cold enough.
Margaret?
Yeah. So do any of you want to share anything else? We got 1 more minute left on the...
Inuit halawagot.
Yes.
Kuveko diptingnik tuyoipsi, nalaktuasi. Inuvialutun okallaktaktuni, tasivago inusap ativagkapot inuvialugapta. Tatngonginnapta atlaan nitaqqavut ilaani oqautsiptingnik ilisautilaalugit ilinniarmiut utimmun ilisarniarumik qayanainni.
Me too, I enjoyed that session. It didn't even seem like long. Like,
Yeah,
it
1
was
hour.
so nice. I loved sharing stories and hearing stories and laughters.
Yeah.
Medicine, it heals us, and that's what we need today.
Yes, when I, like I said, when I asked you ladies if you wanted to come on the show, I said, I just want to spend time with my elders and just hear the language and share stories. Like, I must be what I'm craving and I don't know it. Yeah, just to do that and spend some time together. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So, thank you all. Thank you for coming, and thank you everyone for joining in on the show, and we'll see you on the next episode.